Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Intuitive Angling. Much appreciate you guys making some time out of your 4th of July weekend to watch the video. And before we get started, just wanted to give you guys the weekly reminder, if you guys haven't had a chance yet, to go by fishthemoment.com and check out our lake map breakdowns. I'd invite you to do so. You guys know we got myself, Johnny Schultz, Matt Steffen. We got lake map breakdowns of lakes all across the country, all 4 seasons of the year. We can build you guys a personal map breakdown if you have a lake you want to fish. There's not a better way to learn more about a lake you want to know more about than to get one of these Fish in the Moment lake map breakdowns. We spend a lot of time every week building these things, so I'll include the link in the description. Much appreciated. Okay guys, today's video is, if you guys saw the video I did yesterday about taking I was telling you guys about I'm taking my electronics off my boat for a while to sort of get back to the more instinctive, primal abilities that we all have lost as anglers, and one way that I'm going to do that is just to go electronicless for a while like that. But anyway, I am so honored and tickled to death that I got a comment from nobody less than Richard Jean the Fishing Machine, saying about how he totally agreed with my video and about how he uses the instincts and observation to catch fish. And if you guys have ever watched Richard Jean the Fishing Machine, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, he is down to earth. He fishes out of a simple flat bottom boat. He's got a real simple trolling motor. I think he's got one little tiny depth finder on the boat. And there's a reason why he has 250,000 YouTube subscribers, because people can relate to the way Richard Jean the Fishing Machine fishes. He's a fisherman. He's a real fisherman. It's not like today of the high tech, you know, people that are quasi fishermen. Richard Jean the Fishing Machine is a hardcore hogger, man, and he represents so much in this sport that needs to be emulated, as far as his simplicity, his approach to fishing, his ability to break down the water. And if you listen to Richard Jean, it's exactly what I'm talking about. Richard Jean talks in terms of the water and the conditions and what the bass are doing, or what the crappie are doing, or what the catfish are doing, or what the perch are doing. He's a student of the fish, and we've lost that. And one of the things, and I always have to come back and reiterate this all the time, anytime I do a video on electronics, I get a bunch of guys coming on there and saying, oh, you know, Randy, give it up, you can't compete without these electronics, and you know, no wonder you can't compete, and you know, these guys are good, and you need to get on the boat or you're going to get left behind. Guys, you all are, all you dudes out there that message me like this, you guys cannot see the forest for the trees, because you're completely missing the point of what I'm talking about. I understand fully that technology, electronic technology, is going to put you in the position to catch more fish, but so is these Japanese fishermen that throw out these 2-mile-long trawling nets to catch fish. You know, they're going to catch more fish too, or I'm going to catch more fish if I throw a stick of dynamite in the water. That's not the point. Catching the fish is not the point. It's about keeping the tradition of the sport alive and operating from a sportsmanlike manner and keeping fishing real. That's what I'm talking about here. And a lot of you people out there that are critical of this, I don't think you realize how many people are on the side of, like myself and Richard Jean the Fishing Machine. I get, out of all the comments I get probably 75% of the comments that anytime I talk about, you know, how technology is getting run away and it takes away from the sport, I get 75% of the dudes out there that agree with me, and I get 25% of the dudes that just don't get it. They do not understand the concept I'm trying to present in these videos here. So I want to address those 25% a little bit more. A lot of you guys out there, they're in that 25%, and you tell me that I'm an idiot for not wanting electronics, and you tell me that I'm going to get left behind by not having electronics. You guys are missing the point of the whole videos here. And I think a lot of you guys that do that have never had the ability to go out and find fish and understand fish from an instinctive, primal, intuitive level. You know, that doesn't register with a lot of people, because when you're talking in terms of electronics to find fish, it's a completely different ball game. It's removed from the purity part of the sport. And I'm not talking about, there's guys that can do both. I mean, everybody knows I work with Johnny Schultz, who's one of the greatest, if not the greatest, master of electronics in this country. But Johnny also knows how to get up on the bank and throw a spinnerbait, and he understands, and he's a student of the fish. He understands how to catch fish with or without electronics. But the point of what I'm talking about here is we're raising a segment of the population that doesn't know how to do that. They simply cannot go bass fishing without turning those dang electronics on. It's a crutch to them is what it is. It's like a diver needing scuba equipment. It's like they can't survive. That's their lifeline. And so many anglers today, the electronics is their lifeline, and you take those electronics away from them, and they just lose all their confidence and they struggle. And that's the point what I'm talking about. So in the bigger picture here, what we're talking about getting maximum enjoyment out of the sport. And if the enjoyment that you get out of bass fishing is purely upon catching fish and getting bit and catching fish and missing out on every other aspect that goes along with it, which is the majority of it, you guys are not getting the full experience out of fishing. You're only getting a small sliver of what fishing can offer you. Fishing in its purest sense, there's not a better way out there to understand more about yourself on every single level. And there's not a better way to understand about how nature works and the balance of life and cycles and all that type of stuff. So if you're one of those guys out there that are big defenders of live scope and having $20,000 worth of electronics on your boat, I'd invite you guys to take them off your boat, try to understand what I'm talking about here, and start paying closer attention to the video, because you guys are missing the point if you're critiquing what I'm talking about here. So I just wanted to throw that out there. The main point of the video is I wanted to just let you guys know I'm tickled to death that Richard Jean, the fishing machine, actually took the time out to comment on a video. I got a lot of respect for the way that dude fishes. So anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in, and we'll check with you guys later on. See you.